Hi, hi everyone. It's me. And sorry, I'm not prepared. Just happened just now that I'm going live with GeoGuesser, which is a game that I've played online. So I've only played it once or twice with my film club. I haven't played it since, so I feel like I should have a go at that. But before I get into that, I'm just going to discuss about what I've been up to. It's been a while since I've been live. Last time I went live was around October, I believe, during just before Halloween, I think. So at the moment, I've been looking for work in film and TV. It's not been easy. I've had opportunities being rejected from me, and I've been what do you call it? I haven't had that many opportunities come. I just did work experience in November, and I did. I've been looking for other work as well. That's gonna help, and yeah, it's not that easy to find work. And I've been going to appointments. I went on 4 training schemes, so that's telling something. And yeah, it's pretty much it, I suppose. And plus, I've been busy with work. I have a day off next week because I'm doing alternate Saturdays at work at my workplace. But I am doing Tuesdays as well. I work Tuesdays, maybe a bit of Wednesdays. I might do work as well. Be working during that time as well. So I've been a little bit busy, but not too busy per se. And next week I'm going to a film festival. It's a comedy film festival, which I'm a huge fan of anything to do with comedy. I don't really like a lot of comedy stand-ups, but I like comedy sitcoms and TV shows and stuff. Like Mr. Bean. I'm a huge Mr. Bean fan as well. Because he's very hilarious. And a lot of people don't really like him. A lot of my friends and those a lot of my friends are not really into comedies. But I am. Especially Mr. Bean though. But most of them don't really like him. They like comedies, but they don't like Mr. Bean per se. But I do. It's very funny. So. And I went to my church. Another one to church, which is Walthamstow. I used to go to 2 churches when I was younger. But I still go now, but not really. Because I go to the Anglican church, this is Church of England down the road near my grandma's. It's kind of not far from my grandma's house. It's like 5 minutes from my grandma's. She doesn't live too far from the church. But we've been streaming online than going there physically. And more felt out of place. When I'm there, I'm okay, but at the same time, I'm out of place, and that's why I am. I just never felt I was part of them, but I am part of them, but I'm not fully there, basically. But I went to the African church today because it was 2 people's birthday. One of them was had to hit a milestone in her age. She turned 40, which is a very huge age to be. Because I remember we celebrated my mum's birthday. She turned 40 in 2018, I think. But most people say, oh, she's my sister. But she's not my sister, she's my mum. But she looks young. So people say she's my sister. Even my grandma, she looks young. People say she's 60 or mid 50s sometimes. And people say, why do you guys look so young? And I said, I don't know. My mum looks like she's in her 20s, but she's actually in her mid 40s. And people say I look like I'm a teenager, but I'm actually in my mid 20s. So, yeah. And the other lady was just celebrating her birthday as a one off. So, she's just celebrating it because it's her day. And I think it's good to celebrate your birthday, especially in the place of worship, which is quite a huge thing. And a lot of people will respect you and admire you for that, you know? It's not easy, especially if people are gossiping about you and saying all these things. Because, yeah, people say horrible things behind your back. Or when they're with their friends and they start tutting their teeth and all that rubbish. But it's good at the end of the day to hit that milestone. I'm not sure if I will celebrate my birthday in church, but I think it's the best thing to do. So my grandma did it for her 70th. Because I remember her birthday was not on a Sunday, but they wanted to celebrate her birthday in the church. But my grandma wasn't really. But everyone kept saying she should celebrate in church, but she did. But she was intending to, but she didn't feel because we had to celebrate mid-November because her birthday was 4 weeks. We had to celebrate her birthday 4 weeks later because she turned 70. They knew she turned 70, and yeah, basically. And she turned 75 last year, which is another milestone because her birthday was actually on a Sunday when we celebrated it last year. But she did like a Thanksgiving offering, you know, like in African churches, we tend to dance over it, you know, like we have a lot of celebrations all the time. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not. You can't party all the time, I would say, because it does become tiring, and basically, and it can give headache because I get tired of it, but I'm not tired of it. My mum, she stayed at home. She just didn't feel like she's in a party mood. She wasn't feeling well. And that's what she said. She said she had a headache and something. But I felt like she was making excuses not to. I just covered by saying she wasn't feeling well. I had to lie about where she is to people. He was, oh, where is she? Where's the woman? Well, they thought she was my sister, but it's my mum. But I only have a younger sister because I'm the oldest on my mum's side. But I don't know about my dad's side because I barely see my dad's side of the family. Well, I don't really know them that well. But I think I have more siblings on his side, I would say. But I just don't really see him. I don't really talk to him because we're not really that close. And my mum, I'm not really that close to her. I'm a bit more closer to her. I'm not exactly the close. She's not the person I'm the most closest with in terms of bonding as a mother and daughter. We're not the most open mother and daughter type because she had conflict with her own mother as well. But I'm more close to her mother, my grandma, than I am with my mum. So, and a lot of people find that strange that I'm more close to my grandma. But I don't really find it strange. It's just something she mostly raised us and taught us the things that my mum couldn't really do because she had mental health problems as well. So, and a lot of people did make fun of her, and that's why she didn't really like to go out that much. And I was talking to her about it one time. And I said, "Mum, people are making fun of you." And she said, "I know." And one girl was mentioning our mum being crazy. I was upset. My sister cried about it. I remember I didn't really cry. I just people were questioning us and all that, being bombarding us with their mouths, talking at you. My sister cried, I remember. But I didn't really cry. I was just more anxious because my anxiety started to creep in as well when people started doing that to us. I know I'm a bit off topic. I'm supposed to keep to the thing. And also, what I've been up to, not much, basically. I just had work. And we celebrated my friend's birthday yesterday. She turned 18. It's a huge, 18 is the first big age, in my opinion. You say 10 years old because it has a zero at the end of a one, but clearly it's not. 18 is when it's a huge milestone in terms of age. Because for some cultures, it depends. I think Jewish, they do when you're 13, it's because you're about to become an adult, not when you are an adult. And 18 is when you are an adult, basically. I think they do bar mitzvah and Jewish culture and stuff. And yeah. So about the coronation, I didn't watch the coronation. I watched some of it, a little bit, bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch it properly, like so. I just heard about it in the news. I saw Pub. I think they were walking into the church, Westminster Abbey. I think I'm not really a huge supporter of the royal family. I'm not really that supportive of them. It's mostly about. I never really. Okay, forget about that. Okay, let's just. I only saw bits of the coronation in the news and all that. But and now I wasn't really a fan of the. I'm not a fan of the royal family because I never had an opinion about them. I never really tried to get into them. I remember watching William and Kate's wedding. It was such a drag. That wedding was taking ages. She was late as anything. She barely had anything on. She just wearing a dress and makeup. I don't understand why she needs to be late. I know the bride's supposed to be late, but you know, it's good to celebrate, you know. Another thing, I just watched highlights of it, but I was at work and we were talking about it. My manager, she likes to talk a lot. She likes to go on and on. It's not a bad thing, but sometimes it is. She don't give other people the chance to speak. But I don't mind her going on and on. If I don't really have a lot to say, then I'll allow her to go on and on. And yeah, she said that they were not very good people because Charles and Camilla are not the most well-liked people in the world. I think everyone really dislikes them. After what Charles did to Diana. That's why my grandma didn't really love. She partly likes him. She said, "Oh, it was good, God's choosing," but she had said stuff about Charles being not a good person for what he did. He was being immoral, basically. He always thought about Camilla. Camilla got in the way, basically, in their marriage. And the sons never liked her anyway. And she had a difficult relationship with members of his family and stuff. Because there was this historian called Lindsay Holiday. I think I'll leave a link to her channel on. Hang on, if there's a chat available. I'll leave a link to her channel. I will go on YouTube. Hang on a second. I'll just look for her channel now. She's actually, she actually doesn't, not only does she not, does she talk about the what's going to come for the coronation, but she also talks about more about why the controversies surrounding it as well, because it's a very controversial. Charles is a very controversial guy, really. But I was pissed off when he became king, to be honest. The Queen Elizabeth was a good woman, but I think people don't think she's good because she never apologized for what she did, or her ancestors, rather, did. Because they actually, that's how they got their wealth, because they stole it from other countries that are not in Europe. Oh, sorry. That was not supposed to happen. I'll leave a link to Lindsay. I'll just type her name. But you can't see my computer. So. You can watch the video yourself. She's actually explores it in two angles. Not just about the coronation itself, what's happening, but she does talk about, you know, the controversy surrounding the coronation. And they had personal issues like Harry and William. They were both at it with each other as well. I think them two are just total pricks, in my opinion. Sorry, that was not meant to happen again. Yeah, because you know the scepter that Camilla has when she holds, or Charles. I think both of them have a scepter. Scepter's like this long thing. I'll have to go on Google Images to show you. Like scepter. Scepter's this thing that it's like a rod, but it has a pointed gem on it. An orbited staff. That's it. Let me show you now. I just need to get it They chose to do this to us. It was their choice. Elizabeth I, it was from the 1500s. Because that's how the British Empire was created. And everyone, that's how they benefited economically from it. And even William and Kate, William never gave a shit about nobody. They're just coming to Jamaica as if, oh, we're going to wave, make friends. Oh, it's time for us to visit, blah, blah, blah. They have to do those fucking visits, you know? Because that's what they said they were going to do. I know it's a historic moment, but I don't really support what they did. They never apologized. They never feel guilty for doing the things that they did. That's part that really got me. Being sorry is good, but you have to make up for it as well. Anyone can apologize for what they did. And I know nobody's perfect. We all sin all the time. So you might as well ask for forgiveness. God is the only person that can forgive us in truth. So if you pray or faith, people don't forgive you completely. Because if you ask humans, you can even apologize to a human being, but they say they forgive you, but it's not that. They take time to actually fully forgive you. You know, I did say sorry, but I knew people. And then sometimes I don't feel like saying sorry, but because people say, why are you apologizing for? You need to be unapologetic. And I said, I'm always saying sorry, you know. I can't help it. But they didn't say sorry at all. William said sorry, but it was really indirect. He didn't really say anything that. So I'm sorry for the atrocities that happened. I said, yeah, I know you said sorry, but you're not really sorry, are you? You're not really trying your hardest to say sorry. I can say sorry to anyone, but if I don't back it up or do anything to help, I think he didn't really try and help them. No wonder why Barbados became independent, because my friend was celebrating his country being independent from the monarchy, the British, basically. They didn't really have full independence. And colonization technically still exists because people are continuing to suffer racism, discrimination. Now I suffered racism online. Someone said that I should go back to my homeland and I don't belong in the UK. They say that I go back to my home. They said go back to Africa. That's what they told me. And YouTube didn't really deal with it. They just filtered the comment and said that the person shouldn't have said thing, you know. That thing they said. Well, the next part. There are other events that were happening. I know people say that Arsenal will win the league, but I feel as an Arsenal fan that I have doubts about that. Some people thought I wasn't really a football fan, but I am. It's just that I haven't really spoken about it. It's not a coming out. I'm not making an announcement. It's not something I'm coming out for. I remember Kendall Jenner. She came out to say she has acne. I said, why the hell are you saying that for? Everyone gets acne. I know we all get acne. Why are you saying? Why are you coming out? I thought she's coming out to say she was lesbian or some shit. Or bisexual. But she came out to say that she was having acne. I remember, I think it was a few years ago actually, that she came out to say she has acne. And so it's not really a coming out, is it? It's something that you deal with daily. I have acne all the time. But my acne is not that bad. Because I started taking care of myself. If you take care of yourself more, your body, your skin, it's very hard to take care of your skin. Because, you know, There's so much stuff going on in the air. You know, like pollution, for example. I tried everything. Like pollution. I even used toothpaste. My grandma thought it was good, but it made it worse because I started suffering redness. I had a rash one time on the side of my neck. It was from the sun. Last year I had it. It was from the sun. I had sunspots on my neck. On my face, I got a what does he call it? A rash. When I was younger, I had a red rash, and then I had a boil on my face, which is still there. But you can't really see the mark. But you have to go really close. I didn't do close up, but I'm not bothering with that. But one day I'll show you. But now it's not really a good time. And then when I was a kid, I used to think curing acne, you have to get plastic surgery. I felt really stupid for saying that now. Even when I tell people say, "What? Are you that thick or something?" In their heads, they say, What are you saying?" You know, I don't really have anything. I'm very self-conscious about my image and stuff. When I hear people make rude comments, I tend to take it personally. It's not always, but I try and I take it personally because I want to improve myself. That's why I take it personally. People say, "Oh, you're just doing it because you feel entitled." It's not because I feel entitled. It's just that I'm trying to improve myself. I'm not trying to be entitled. I'm not acting like a spoiled brat, you know? Yeah, I'm not acting like such. It's a historical moment. I've never seen Coronation before, but I have to watch the highlights in my own time. And I'll watch in my own accord. But I know I wouldn't feel happy about it. Most people want it to become a republic, because that's how it went to certain countries like France. I think that France was the first country in Europe to become a republic, because they had 5 republics. They became republic for the 5th time in France, if I remember carefully. Mostly after Napoleon and stuff. But I'm not really big on French history. I might have to ask my ex-partner about that. And because he lives in France. I don't know if he knows much. He's an African like me, so yeah. So the game I want to actually is about GeoGuessr, but I'll talk about GeoGuessr a little bit, around like 5 to 10 minutes or so. Okay, so the game is called GeoGuessr. If you ever heard of it, I've seen YouTubers do it before. The first time, this Welsh guy, and he was doing an ASMR video. ASMR videos are always the best. Even I can't do it. That's how bad. I did an ASMR video once. I was terrible. You don't want to look at it. Watch it. I didn't really talk or anything or whisper. I just did some actions and stuff. A few ASMR moments. I really sucked. So you don't want to see that video. It's in my channel, so you could find it at some point if you want to. And plus, I'm still working out the live streams for the quizzes. The quiz are more interactive. That's why I want to go live with the quiz, because they're more interactive and they're more participatory, if you get what I mean. Because I get more people to participate in the quizzes as well. But I have to convince them first before they participate. It's mostly about films, but sometimes it's about other stuff. But I try and relate it to what my channel concentrates on, which is film and TV. And also, I've been suffering from this hay fever stuff. It's a lot of pollen in the air. And when the temperature changes, sometimes my nose is blocked when I have to keep sniffing. I sniff, but I can't really. It's very dry. I think the air is very dry during this time as well, because when it gets hotter, it becomes drier. But the humidity levels kind of play a role with the hay fever that I have. There's tree pollen and grass pollen. I think I'm allergic to both. And my mum gets hay fever as well, because she's allergic to pollen like me. I think some foods have pollen. That's why I've been keeping away on certain foods that have pollen in. Like honey. You know, pears have pollen and plums as well, certain fruits. And potatoes. I didn't know potatoes have pollen. I think that's why I cut down on the chips, because potatoes tend to have pollen in them. And pollen does make it worse, especially if you eat it. It's an antihistamine. It's a histamine inside. I think I have allergies to histamines. I'm not 100% sure. I might have to go and do an allergy test, because my grandma had an allergic reaction last week to celery. Her face was, mostly her eyes were swollen. Sometimes her eye. We went to hospital together last year in the summer. The day before I went to Ricelip Beach, and her eyes started swelling up, and I was getting confused by what her eyes. She was telling me to call. She called the ambulance. She called the cab. She told me to put the cab, and I said, "What happened to your face?" And she, "Do you see anything in my eyes?" I didn't really say what happened. So she just told me. She said, "Oh, I went to the mirror and I saw some. I went to bed and woke up, my eyes swollen." And I said, "What? Oh." And she said, "Do you see any swelling?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Maybe you should go to the hospital." And then I went with her to the hospital. Then we were waiting for like 4 hours. It was quite a long time. My mum was at home. And we both waited for quite a long time. And when she was finally seen, they told her to take the antihistamines tablets. But I take them as well for myself, but not the tablets she uses, but it's my tablets that I got. The one from over the counter, from the drugstore. So I got it from the drugstore to take before I leave the house. And I felt my eye was slightly swollen as well, and it started hurting. I took eye drops. I took 2 in my eyes. So now we talk about geography. I'm not really into geography, but I'll give it a go. Geography's never really been my favorite subject in school, because when I was at school, I was more into. I didn't really have a favorite subject in school. I was more into like creative writing and stuff. But it's not really a subject in school, is it? It's like English, but in English we just learn about the same old crap. World War One, World War Two. Majority of when I was in year 9, I remember majority of the first school term, the autumn term, we were always learning about World War One and the trenches and stuff. And then until like February half term, and then we learned about World War Two, when the Germans and Nazi Germany. Then we were learning small bits about the civil rights movement in America. I didn't see the point. Because at times, schools don't get it right. I think when I first started mainstream education, I learned about ancient Egypt in school. Like, it was history and geography together because it's called humanities because they cross over the subjects. Because one time you're learning history, the other time you're learning geography. But geography's never really been my favourite subject. I think it's one of my least favourite subjects in school, as far as I'm aware, as far as I can remember. Because I was more into English and stuff. Mostly creative writing, because English, we didn't really learn much that I really enjoyed. But I mostly enjoyed creative writing and come up with my own stories and stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get into film because I get to create my own stories. I didn't do media when I was in school. I wish I did media, but I didn't. I've always wanted to do media, but I never did. But people say media is journalism. That's why I kind of didn't really want to do media to begin with. So I ended up doing IT in college. But then when I went to film club and I tried to do film, I wanted to try and get into post production, which is basically editing videos and distributing them, because I had an IT qualification for it. But then when I left, I didn't. When I left college, that's when I left college, I meant. That I wanted to use my IT skills, utilize them more to edit videos and stuff and short films and stuff. But then when I left, I ended up when I kept going film club more and more, I wanted to get into production, which is more hands on. That's why I wanted to get into production. Production is more hands on, and there's not a lot of office work that you need to do because development does all the office work, really. But I'm in the office. You're in the office anyway when you're doing production management because you have to search for locations, what would be the suitable location for your film. You could search it up on the internet or you could actually go there physically and see it for yourself. And I like geography though, but I don't really. It's not really my favorite subject, but I'll try and play the GeoGuessr as much as I can. And another reason why I don't like geography is because I'm terrible at directions. I'm not good with navigation, roads navigation, or maps. I find maps very hard to read. And Google Maps tends to confuse me sometimes because it says you're there, and then when I was going to this restaurant, I was late. I was trying to be there on time. I was telling my manager that I was trying to get to it's a work lunch thing, but I wanted to be there on time, but I couldn't get there on time because I was running because I didn't know where the place was. I was like 5 minutes late, and everybody was there already. And I so felt embarrassed when I walked in. When my friend came to meet me by the station, because she called, and I said, "Where am I?" Then my friend said, Then I told her that I was getting confused with where I was, and they said it was there on the corner. It was by the library, but it was not by the library. It was across from the library, and Google Maps read it wrong. And I thought, then my friend came to meet me. My manager told my friend to meet me. My colleague, who's my friend actually, went to meet me. My friend said, and I told her that hi, how are you? And she said, well, where are you? She did tell you to come, and I said, yeah, this map is showing me something different. Oh, I've got to use my map knowledge. I'll try. But I played GeoGuessr when I was in film club. because a young person showed us the game, and a lot of YouTubers are doing it as well. But I'll try and use GeoGuessr. I'm not very good. I'm not sure if I'm logged in. I will check now. Okay. I'm gonna start the game now. In a short while. I need to sort it out again. I can't see the location. I will have to mute myself for now. Sorry, everyone. Just have to sort things out. It's very frustrating doing lives. I don't do it that much. That's why I'm trying my hardest here. I just need to sort it out. So I could get it working again. I'll be with you in a while, so I'll just try and sort this out. And with GeoGuessr, you have to have an account. So I'm going single player now. Sorry, I need to share my screen.
आजे काशी हाँ आजे చెప్తారు ఊళ్ళోనే అది అక్కడే కాదు ఇప్పుడు మారిపోతున్నాయి మాకే పరుగు ఏంటండి అది ఆ ఊళ్ళోనే అనుకున్న ఊళ్ళో 3 అడుగులు ఫస్ట్ మన అడుగు ఎంత వస్తుంది అక్కడ రోడ్ బంద్ చేసాడు అలాగే 2 అడుగులు వెళ్ళిపోతాం మళ్ళీ పైకి వచ్చి అన్ని తిరగాలి అక్కడి నుంచి అలాగా రోడ్డు ఈ రోడ్లు ఎక్కడ చూడలేదు ఆ రోడ్లో చెప్పేస్తారా ఆ రోడ్ బంద్ చేసాడు ఎంతమంది చేస్తున్నారు ఏ రోడ్ గుళ్ళోకి దారి జరగ దీనికి జరగ
hast du jetzt schon wieder gehabt. East Wing.
thank you all for joining in. I'm very, very sorry. I'm deeply sorry about this. I'll do another GeoGuessr live, as I keep mentioning. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.